We're going live soon.
Man. Alrighty, we're on.
No, we're not
live.
on. We're going on soon.
We're going on?
It's setting up.
You know, your title, one of your titles or one of your books you should write?
Yeah, what should it be, Matt?
That saying you use, the best gifts come time badly.
Some of the best gifts in life come badly wrapped.
That's a great book title.
It is a good book title because
We're
I
on
actually...
live.
Okay. Hi, everyone. So pumped and excited. Mat Steinwede. And I really, Matty, I've done it once before where I had another guy on the other line on the Sunday night. Sunday night, I just do my own thing, like the same way you do with your Monday morning starters.
I watch them every Sunday, Tommy. I know what you do.
Okay. Can I ask you, Matty, you know Monday morning starter, when do you film that?
On Sundays, or sometimes Monday. Depends if Broccoli goes out on Saturday nights, because I do it on Sunday mornings. But if he goes out like today, he doesn't wake up. Okay,
so I want to talk to you a little bit about broccoli. Oh, I've got to turn that off. Hang on. I've got to talk to you a little bit about broccoli. Broccoli, mate, you made this guy here from the middle of. He had nothing going for him in his life. He was down and out. No one knew about this guy. He looked like the sort of guy that worked at a Subway sandwich shop, right? With his right, and then all of a sudden, fucking there's broccoli, right? We're seeing this guy broccoli pop up. At the start, we used to see him with glasses, and then he had this his jumpers or sloppy joes were always bigger. Then he starts opening his mouth a bit. Next thing you know, there's a fucking documentary on broccoli. Man, what have you done for this guy? His parents should put you in his will. His parents should put you.
Yeah, I know. It's just he's got a whole energy of his own. He's like, yeah.
Mate, Matty, I've got to tell you, when you told me you were going to write a book, I still remember you said to me, mate, I'm writing a book. And I just thought to him, because I know you so well, and I know that you're a person that, like to me, writing a book seemed, we were even talking about it just before we came on air. You said, I heard you want to write a book. And I said, I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon, because to me, it's just the process of sitting down and writing from start to finish seems so much harder than me hypothetically like doing a video quick like this, you know? Yeah, it seems like it's easy. How long did it take you to write this book, 31 minutes?
Probably like 10 months roughly. But I basically stopped surfing so much, and then I literally applied the 31-minute rule to the book.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting. So what did you do? You wrote for around 31 minutes each time?
Every day.
Okay. I want to really talk about this 31-minute, because a lot of people know that we're mates, and they sort of hit me up and they say, mate, what's the fuck's this 31 thing that, you know, is you trying to raise 31 million? Like one guy thought you were trying to raise 31 million. And then another guy said to me, oh, no. What it is, it's a special training program. At 31, you burn more fat. Once you go to 35, you don't. So Matty, what is, so here is the book. I actually feel like those American podcasters that bring an author on and say, we've got, you know, I've got the author in here.
I did not want you to promote this, by the way. It's not an infomercial. I want people to know that. You know me. I don't really promote things too much.
100%. You are the anti-promoter. That's what you are. So, Matty, can I ask you? It took you 10 months, 31 minutes. In your own words, what's 31 all about?
So I think there's a couple of things with it. One part of it is my body was changing as I was getting older. So like when I was younger, I always had fairly good makeup. Like I didn't really have to work too hard at things, like with, you know, health and things. I was always active. And then when I hit about 40, I noticed my body was changing a bit. Like, yeah, my chest was changing shape, and I just was like, oh, I need to do something about it if I want to maintain, because you know, I see a lot of guys, especially, they get to that mid-40s and they just sort of, life takes over, and they just sort of like, I don't know, like they get the dad bod.
But were you working out? Were you working out before you realized this? Have you been always working out?
Not with full commitment.
Right.
Like sort of. It wasn't like a must do. Like
Right.
I'd be surfing and things. But I actually made a decision when I was about 41 or 2. I was like, no, there's no reason I can't actually get fitter and better as I get older. So I was like, something shifted in my mind. It's no different than a marketplace that's going to crap. And I remember in the GFC, same sort of thing. Like properties just stopped selling. And one day I made a decision, instead of living into that fear, I thought, well, someone has to do well in any market. And I made a decision that I was going to learn how to do that back then, and it worked.
Yeah. Yeah.
So same now, like part of my makeup now is I want to get fitter and better as I get older. Not just for aesthetics. I mean, when you're feeling real fit and you stick to your commitments, you've got this day. I'm not a real super structured day, but I've got a few key things that I must do every day. And when you have those small wins, you almost gain this internal momentum, like you're going somewhere.
Yeah.
And I want my performance in work, in life, in health to be through the roof. Like I want to be like, I want to see what's possible. Yeah.
Okay. So as I, read the book, and when I first saw the cover, which was around, when was it? It was around, I saw the cover of the book in June. And I thought to myself, and then I read pretty much what you sent me. Some of the stuff that I thought to myself, fuck, that's weird, and I want to talk to you about it. One of those is cold showers, right? Cold showers. So do you have a cold shower in the winter?
Every day.
Every day you have a cold shower?
Yeah.
How long does the shower last for?
I used to do it for about 3 to 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So you have a hot one first, do all your hair. Your hair doesn't wash the same in cold water for some reason. So I just wash my hair and all that. And then I stand in the cold shower and do some breathing exercises. And now it's probably about 60 to 90 seconds.
To me, that feels worse because you've actually just come from hot water. So the cold must even feel colder.
It does. But it actually, when you get used to the cold showers, you don't like the hot ones as much. The hot ones make you feel lethargic. The cold ones actually make you feel like when you get out, you feel amazing.
Right. Can I ask you, is the reason you do it is it makes you feel amazing?
No, it's for immunity. It's really good for your muscles, like your flexibility. It's good for your mindset. It has a whole lot of properties. Now, this is not my idea. A guy called Wim Hof. I don't know if you follow him.
I don't, but anyway, go on.
Nice man. So, for instance, Wim Hof, you should look into him. He's very, very good. And I do it for immunity mainly. So right. I get sick less now. I hardly get sick. And you know what I used to really freak out about was when people ask me to speak and they book you for next March. How do you know you're not going to be sick on the 14th of March?
Yeah,
and I used to think to myself, I'd actually get a bit of anxiety around it, and I'd say no a lot of the time because I couldn't guarantee that I would feel well. And if I'm not firing on all cylinders, I can't fake it. I'm literally like, I'm sick. And so I thought to myself, there must be something out in the world that can help you not get sick. There must be. It doesn't mean you don't get sick, you get sick less.
Okay, so how many colds would you get normally before the cold shower routine?
I was getting them all the time. Like right. I was getting them through the year, I'd have 10. I don't know the number. Now I'll be lucky to get 1.
Okay. So and then the other weird ritual was this power breathing. Now I've heard Anthony Robbins talk about breathing, and I've watched him, and I thought to myself, fuck, it looks a bit weird. I've never done it. You've done it. You do it. You do it often?
Every day.
How long have you been doing? So what do you do firstly? What is it that you do?
Okay, there's 2, blue breath and energy breath. In the shower, I do this. in a cold shower. And what that does is just flushes your entire body out. And if you did it, Tom, if you did it for 60 seconds right now, you'd feel really lightheaded and you'd have all tingles in your hands. And it makes your oxygen just flood around your body and it gets you fired up. So I'll do that in a stressful time through the day before an appointment. You do that before you go into somebody's house, you literally change states. And
Okay.
You walk into a house, you can have the busiest, like my phone rings, I don't know, nonstop, all day, nonstop. So to go into somebody's house, that's our showtime. And you've got to be on your game. And when you walk into a house, if your mind is elsewhere, the chance of you winning that business is this much. When you're totally in the zone, you'll probably win the business.
Yeah.
Most of the time. So you do this 60-second breath, in and out energy breath, followed by blue breath, which is four of those. You do four of those at the end. I don't know the number exactly, but it's like triple the amount of oxygen that floods your body. So you walk into a house like you've just had a power nap.
Right.
Game
okay.
on.
Matt, if it wasn't for you, I would actually think to myself, this guy's had a quick bong before he came on here, right? But I'm going to give you the best. You know what I'm going to do, Matt? I'm going to try this for Monday to Friday this week. There's two things I'm going to do. I'm going to do the cold shower because daylight savings here, everything feels a bit warmer anyway, right? I'm going to do the cold shower. And the second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do the 60 seconds of that breathing and then followed by the blue.
Practice with me quickly now.
Okay.
So deep one in and quick one out.
I spat on the phone.
Can you feel it?
Yes, 100%.
You feel it?
100% I can feel it.
Yeah. Do that for 60 seconds. Must be 60 seconds in the shower, or you can do it anywhere. You do that, it will change your state. And then at the end, fill your lungs right up. See, what happens, Tom, is we run around in fight or flight most of the day. Most of the day. We only use this much of our lung capacity. Once you use this much, your whole body goes into a different space.
Okay, man. Matty, I'm trying it Monday. I'm going to tell you, I did feel better. Right? There's no question about it. I'm trying to work out how long it's going to last. Plus, I've got a Stone and Wood beer next to me. So I'm thinking to myself, is a combination, right? Matty, can I just ask you, why 30? I want to get back to this. Why 31 minutes and why not 32 minutes or 40 minutes?
Okay, it's just a weird thing. You're interviewing soon anyway, David Goggins, but I was doing 30 minutes all the time, 30 minutes, blah, 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 blah. And it was good. I was getting it done easily. And I watched a David Goggins video and he was like about pushing himself. I don't have a lot of time, Tom, to do all of this stuff between surfing, 6 kids, life, business, selling houses. There's not a lot of time left. I can
You're very fertile, aren't you? 6 kids.
6 kids.
Okay. No IVF there at all?
Oh, wait, no. And so I only have a certain amount of time. And I thought, why can't I do, because I do quite high intensity in the 30 minutes, like full sweat, about somewhere between 430 and 500 calories I'll burn every time. So
okay. It said in the book, you have a love-hate relationship with the treadmill.
I do.
I'm fascinated about that because I know that you're a member of Anytime Fitness because I can tell the colors of the and I've seen the signage, I think, but I mean their equipment is very distinctive, that purple, black, look about them. And so you go to Anytime Fitness and I read your routine when you're on the treadmill.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking unbelievable. Matty, I swear to God, I've opened up the book. Like there's no tags. I've opened up the book and I said, I know your routine, and I was going to search for it. I swear to God, page 39. I could have opened up any fucking page of the book. I could have opened up any page of the book. It's got my... Look, how many pages is there? 140. And I picked, out of 140 pages, I picked up my daily routine. Okay. 5-minute walk, incline 3. I still can't get over that. What are the odds of doing that? 5-minute walk, incline 3, speed 6.5, 10-minute run, incline 3, speed 13.5. Okay, that's fast. 5-minute walk, incline 3, speed 6.5, 6-minute run at 13.5. Okay, 5 minutes. So I'm adding it all up. 15, 20, 31, correct? Yes, 31 minutes. Matt, before the 31 minutes, is there a warm-up or it's straight doing the walk? No?
The walk is the warm-up. The 31 minutes is me just adding an extra minute to the intense part. Like, so it's 6 minutes on the second run. Look, for someone like me, I'm not an athlete. I was a bodybuilder before. Running was just not my thing, totally foreign. But I liked cardio. I knew I had to do some cardio. I've stuck to this thing, like, you know, like it was shaping my body again. It was like a guy, and look, I'm not one to talk about like myself, so I don't think I'm like going, hey, this is amazing or anything. A guy came up to me in the gym the other day and he goes, mate, excuse me, I hate when people talk to me in the gym. I've got my headphones in. I don't want to talk to anyone. I'm like, what? And it comes out, he goes, how do you get calves like that? And I was like running. But it's like, it's literally shaped my body again.
Have your calves, Matty, your calves have got better from running?
Calves have got really good from running. It's one of my body parts that were okay, never great. My calves are like best ever for me. And it's got like all these huge veins running down it. Like people like that I work with, like, how on earth did you get legs like that? And I'm
so legs are interesting because today I was reading an article. Alan Jones was in Japan and it showed a photo and the guy had nice legs. And then the writer said, oh, you know, it's got nice legs. And then I think something went on about there'd be nothing worse than being all super fit and having shit legs, right?
Yeah,
legs,
for sure.
But legs, is it true? Or you wouldn't know, but you know, there's rumors Arnold Schwarzenegger put in things into his calf muscles because legs are hard, like calves are not easy, you know?
They're not. Like I spent a lot of years in the gym when I was younger. Calves are the hardest thing to get right. And running, you know what did it? There's this lady I was selling a house for. She was walking around the house and I was looking at her calves and I said to Jenny, you've got amazing calves. How did you get them? She goes, I run. So that's one of the reasons I started running.
Okay. So, Matty, 31 minutes is a metaphor to say, hey, that extra minute is where the growth happens. That extra minute is where you're actually making progress. That extra minute is where the muscle grows. That extra minute is where the endurance happens. And I think the other metaphor out of the book I'm getting is, hey, look, it's only half an hour in a 24-hour block, right? You know, it's achievable for the president of the United States. It's achievable for someone that's got 6 kids and running a business and running 5 million GCI. It's achievable for any person, right? I get that. But I notice as I read the book is a lot more than telling people do 31 minutes. It's good for you. It actually talks about a lot of things. It talks about where you came from, which, man, like where you came from is about 10 minutes from my house, where you spent a lot of time on Oxford Street around the period where, you know, DCMs and ecstasy was big and, you know, that short look and, you know, right? Yeah. That was the, can I ask you, there must have been bits that you enjoyed that life.
I loved it. Yeah, I loved it. When it got too much in the criminal world, it just got ugly after a while. But, you know, but before all the partying and all that was fun.
Don't you ever, Matty, like on a Saturday night, it's terrible. You finished your opens for the day. It's 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. You know, you're thinking to yourself, fuck, how about I just fucking go down to the city, you know, go down to Oxford Street, relive it again. I've got good calves now. You know, do you miss partying? Is what I'm saying.
No, I just wouldn't be prepared to pay the price of feeling bad. My life, I just want to feel good all the time. It's just this zone thing. All I want to be is in the zone. Whenever I'm not in the zone, even a bit out of the zone, the results aren't the same, and I just don't perform the same. I spend my life chasing the zone now.
Okay. Matt, I want to talk about the billionaire, the billionaire that you went in and done a listing presentation on a property, and you've got to know this billionaire. And I thought that would be a good topic to unpack, because a lot of people, I'm going to tell you, most of the people I speak to, Matt, they just want to get fit, make more money, be happy. They seem to be the three. Like, if I had to summarize it, they want to make money for whatever reason. Some of them are unsure why they want to make money, but they do want to make money. They want to get fit, right? Everyone seems to be obsessed with that one. And fit, money, and like they don't want to be suffering. They don't want to be unhappy in life. And I know, and I'm going to touch on it in a moment, because I know you will, and you know me, Will, and we both have gone through difficult roads that the average Instagram follower would not even picture that this is going on, right? Because everything, like, life's moving on, and I simply don't go put photos of me sitting in a chemo ward, right? And right, I just don't do it, right? But, that is, in fact, what a lot of the times has been happening in my life the last few years. But can I ask you, Matt, this billionaire, what are some of the learnings you got out of the billionaire?
Manners. Like, he's impacted my life, I reckon, as much as you have, as much as Johnny McGrath has. Like, he left my office. He rings me up the other day and he said, "Oh, Matt, can I come visit you?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." And he popped in. And, Gary's probably mid-70s, really sort of healthy guy. And after we caught up for maybe an hour and a half, just chatting just about stuff. And then we left the office, and he was standing at the front outside the office. And he said, "Oh, Matt, excuse me, can I please go back in and say goodbye to Kim? I feel terrible. I didn't actually thank her for the water that she gave me." And he took the time, went back in. This is a very busy man. He went back in, stood in front of Kim and said, "Look, I just want to say thank you for your hospitality. I really appreciate the water. Look forward to seeing you again." And that's one of many things, but he's probably one of the most well-mannered people I've ever met.
Well, there you go. And I put a post during the week. You know what I noticed? Some of the best people I've ever met, they're really nice to a guy that makes their coffee, and they're equal to a person that they might be pitching for business. They seem to be the same person, whether they're a street cleaner they're talking to, whether they're a waiter, whether they're actually a news agent, or whether they're the CEO of a company. And this guy basically is a person that you would think has everything in his life, but he still had enough time to go say thank you for that glass of water. I like that.
To give you an idea of his wealth, just recently he bought the Westpac building and knocked it down and rebuilt it. And also he's the single highest, or whatever they call it, the most investor in the Australian stock market, single private, what do they call it?
So a single largest shareholder, or
investor in the Australian stock market.
Okay. Does he live in Terrigal, Matty?
No, he lives in Hunters Hill.
Okay, but you met him through real estate in Terrigal.
Yeah, and I was speaking to his son the other day, just chatting, and Sean said to me, "Oh, Dad came up and saw you." And I said, yeah, he just popped in. He said, "Do you know what that means?" Like, he said, do you get what that means? I was like, "No." He doesn't spend time with many people at all.
Right.
And he's just like, and I really value like his, like time. He's come to see me, like, and I just sit there and we chat. And a couple of other things I've taken away from him is peace of mind. He will never do anything that makes him feel uncomfortable, whether it be paying tax, whether it be going somewhere, dealing with someone, and he'll only ever do business with people that he likes. He won't do business with them if he has any feeling of uncertainty around it, or the character doesn't match his. He doesn't like actively go, "I'm not doing business with you." He just won't do business with them because it affects his peace of mind. Peace of mind has driven his life, he said to me.
Matt, well, I've got to tell you, there's nothing worse than not having peace of mind. For me, not having peace of mind is I get anxious and I don't sleep well.
Yeah.
And then that begins a pattern of little things annoying me. And it all happens when you're not having peace of mind. And I've got to tell you, when I've looked at my profit and loss report, there doesn't seem to be a big link between peace of mind and a profit and loss report, right? Don't get me wrong. When you got no money, I'm sure you got no peace of mind. But I'm talking once there's a certain level, right, mate, like Bill Gates says in that, not in that documentary, Bill Gates has a beautiful line, Matt. He says, after a while, a hamburger is a hamburger.
100%. That day, I had an appointment with the wealthiest guy in Terrigal before Gary. And then I had an appointment with Gary. And the funny thing is, right, like the guy who I saw before Gary, he had 800 acres in Windsor. That's all been subdivided, getting subdivided. Very wealthy man. I walked out of his appointment with him and I was driving the old work ute because someone said to me at the office when I was going to see him, he goes, "You're not going to take that car, are you?" And I was like, "Of course I am." So I drove it up. You know what Dino said to me? Dino goes, "Love the car." And I'm like, "Yeah, it's cool." He goes, "I love those cars." That was one. And I got back and Gary walked out. Because I was running late, I parked on the footpath. Gary walks out. He goes, "Oh, you driving that car today?" I was like, he goes, something like, "Oh, really like your choice of car," or something like that. I just really want to say to young agents who are listening to this, peace of mind means a lot of things, but it means not putting yourself, not overextending yourself to try and look successful when you're not there yet. So like, don't buy a car where you've got this huge loan and you're trying to keep up with it and all these things. Like it's such, I took so much from Gary's teaching about peace of mind, and he puts that down to one of the reasons he's hugely successful.
Yeah, well, Matt, the short summary of that is don't be all swank, all wank, and nothing in the bank. Yeah. That's going to fucking, right? That's going to, like, and Matty, because you actually said in the book, one of the things that he gives you an answer to is about wealth is simply spend less than what you make.
Yeah, spend less than you earn. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly right. That was the first thing. I went down and met with him. I listed his property and I rang him one day and said, "Can I come down and ask you about wealth?" And I went down, me and Jamie, was this meeting. We thought we're going to get this great information. And I said, "Gary, how do we create great wealth?" This is years ago. And he said, he thinks for a while, he said, "Spend less than you earn, Matt." And I was like sitting there going, "What the hell?" Yeah. And he basically like, if you can't do that, then there's no point talking about wealth. And then he also talked about compounding. But compounding is something that's, it happens over time. But I think in real estate, Tom, agents undervalue the power of compounding in prospecting.
So and we've seen it particularly, Matty. You know what I've seen it? I've seen it particularly now in this new world where you get on Instagram a lot of spruikers that say that they've got some funnel that will get you massive results in 60 days. You know what I mean? You constantly hear about some sort of technique, methodology that is going to bring you results instantly or at a very fast time. And what you're saying is that in real estate, you've noticed that a lot of real estate agents are actually being seduced by that and moving away from the compound effect.
Well, I just think sales managers have it a bit wrong. Like, I really do. Just go out and get a listing business. Like, where do you get that? You can't go to the shop down the road and get a listing. They put too much pressure on agents around, go out and get a listing, especially if they're new. It's like, I would be saying, go out and start 30 new relationships today. And then and they should be showing the agent how to take care of those relationships over the next 1 to 30 years. Like, I listed a house the other day. I door knocked it 20 years ago, and I've kept in contact with him ever since. He just died. But the family came to me and said, "Darcy loved talking to you." Like, I think that relationship understanding is the reason that agents become successful. And all this pressure around sales managers and performance, I get you got to list property. But the funny thing is that when you're out there building relationships with people, you'll actually find listings as well. But when you go out there with this focus around, I must get a listing, it's just the wrong way to train agents.
Well, look, if you gave someone a goal to go out and get 30 relationships this week, or you went out and got someone to get 30 appraisals, the difference would be the person trying to get the appraisals, Matt, you can see me all clearly?
You just dropped off somewhere.
What about now? Bring you back in.
I don't know what I accidentally touched.
I can see you.
You can?
Yeah, I can see you clearly. So the issue is if it's not a problem for you, and while that's going on, I'll turn this light back on.
Anyway, I'm not sure what I touched.
So Matty, just keep
Yeah.
going because it's all being streamed. So
I can see you now.
Okay. So Matty, if you said to someone, go out and get 30 appraisals or go out and build 30 relationships, the difference is the person that's got a goal to get an appraisal will always just be focused on what they want to achieve out of it. They'll have commission breath. They'll be trying to close for an appointment. The person's going to feel that tension. The person's going to think that person doesn't care about me. They care about getting an appraisal. Whereas the person that goes out to build 30 relationships, hey, that's about being curious. That's about being nice. That's about, say that again.
Being there.
Being there. And not only that, I actually think you'll do more of it because you'll actually damn enjoy it because you're actually doing something that someone might actually like to talk to you about versus having someone sitting there trying to give them option 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock today, right?
100%. 100%. I just think a lot of sales managers don't actually know how to do it themselves. Like, and I don't mean to be critical. It's a relationship business. It's not a listing business. Like, yeah, you've got to list houses, but you give me a year with a salesperson. I'm not a coach. You're a coach. You're a trainer. I don't pretend to be. I've just got a system that I work to. But if they came to you and you showed them how to maintain relationships, if they were with me, working with me, I reckon I'd double their business in a year if they worked alongside of me. Well, look at Trevor. Look at the people that have joined me. Their businesses have gone through the roof because all I focus on is the relationship that I create and maintain. That's it. They'll list their house with you. Of course they will. But you've got to get into that space where it's like today I just listed one and full fee, marketing, whatever, blah, 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 blah. But I've spent 20 or maybe 18 years nurturing it.
That's why, Matty, I hate it when a guy or girl I see in real estate, sometimes I see it at an auction on a Saturday when they're interacting with people, they'll just say, oh, mate, don't worry, it's a wastie. Nothing's going to come of it. It's people that have an expectation that something's going to come of it there and then. And 100%. They define that as a wastie because it's not coming on them.
It is. We all want the sale. Like, I'm as hungry gets. Like, I work all the time. I'm so on it. It's not funny. But it's like a big wave. Like, some people are ready now. Some people are ready in 2 years. Some people are ready 5 years. It's the ones that are ready in 2 years or more. That's the goal. Like, you're literally setting yourself up for $1 million business in 5 years' time if you have 200 of them.
One of the things I got out of reading 31 minutes, an underlying message the whole time is structure.
Yeah.
I'm right?
Yeah, for sure.
Everything there seems to be about structure, because structure seems to have a domino effect on things. You know,
it does. Structure and energy. Structure and energy. You know, like, if you can't expect consistency. So every month, our expectation is 20 listings, 20 sales. Mine and Trev's 20 listings, 20 sales. Sometimes we do. Last month we listed like 30, and sometimes we do 22 or whatever. But we always 20 and 20, 20 and 20, 20 and 20. And it's like, but the structure around that is what we created years back, and we stick to it, which produces the results like all the time. But if we step out of that structure, or if we get complacent or get lazy or a bit all over the place, our results aren't the same. So you can't experience consistency without you being consistent. It doesn't work. It's like saying I want to be wealthy but thinking poor. Same thing.
So consistent results will happen from consistent behavior. So what you're saying is your life will always be up and down in results if you're always up and down with behavior.
100%. I can basically troubleshoot somebody's business. I look at it, an agent, they'll ring me and they'll say, well, blah, 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 and I'll ask them questions and I'll feel my way around it, and I can basically go, boom, right there. How many I had a call the other day, and I was like talking to the person, blah, blah, blah. I was like, how many hot buyers you're working with? They go 3. I said, that's why you're having problems at the moment in a slower market. Like, it's a system. It's like the structure around how you run your day is literally like a vision into your future.
Matty, can I ask you, best thing that's happened in your life, worst thing that's happened in your life, or along those lines?
Yeah. The best thing that happened is, 2 things. Meeting John McGrath was one, and becoming #1. I mean, people can say kids and all that. Yeah, kids and blah, 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 blah. But in work, achievements that were pretty significant for me. So,
well,
yeah.
Johnny watches every Sunday night rant. You know that.
Does he?
He doesn't
Yeah,
watch
Johnny.
it under his name, but he watches it, and I still remember the day in Alexandria where you came and spoke at one of my first events. And John was there. Do you remember that day? It was many years ago. You weren't a franchisee then. You were at Rain and Horn.
Oh, I saw
you were Rain and Horn 25 years ago. It was Alexandria Stanford Club, right?
I do. Is that the, yeah, I do remember. Yes.
And you were Rain and Horn, right?
Yeah.
And he was there, and I was running this event, and John was speaking at it, and you were speaking at it, and
I do. Yeah.
You did. Okay.
But yeah, meeting John was a very significant part of my life. Like, I sent him a videotape. He took the time to ring me, and he took the time to have breakfast with me. It was a life-changing meeting for me. And over time, life sort of just kept moving that way. And then he offered me me and Jamie, the first McGrath franchise. And then that was another massive thing. And then after that, it took me 15 years to become number one in McGrath. And
you've done it now 2 years in a row?
3 times.
3 years in a row, last 3 years. Okay.
Yeah. But it was a benchmark that I just wanted to achieve. It was like the top of my bucket list, because it was, when I joined McGrath, I was number one in Rain and Horn. But when we joined McGrath, the number 1 and number 2 and number 5 guys were riding 3 times what I was.
Well, there was James Dack at the time, I think, was there.
Bowie, all of them. Gillian McGrath. They were like, I was just not even I wasn't in the top 20, I don't think. So for me, it was always a benchmark I wanted to work to, and I wanted to learn how to do it. And I really set out to understand what they did, learn what they did, just like apply myself. That's why this 31-minute book is literally the blueprint to create something you want in your life.
So, Matty, before I go on, like, people to buy the book, is this bought online or it's bought at bookstores? What's the process?
It's just it's in my Instagram link bio.
Okay, on your Instagram link bio.
As you can tell, I'm a huge marketer, Tom.
Yeah. No, I can tell. Like, it's not. You're the anti to selling, but the problem is, if someone wants to go fucking buy it, we don't want them to fucking have to play Trivial Quiz to actually find it. We want to be able to say, this is where it is. So they get it, and it's sent, and it's about $25.
20 bucks.
It's $20, and I can pretty much tell you, the average real estate agent should read it in 2.5 hours, I think.
Yeah, I didn't want to. I don't know if anyone knows, but I actually couldn't read properly. So at 25 years old, I taught myself how to read. So I wanted a book that I would read myself. I bought 4 million books that I've read the first 2 chapters and never read anymore.
Yeah. And this book is like that. Actually, the size of it makes you feel good already, because you think to yourself, fucking good. I was able to, I'm going to nail this. Now, Matty, can I ask you the worst thing that's happened to you? Or you don't have to answer that. If you just say that, we can talk about something.
I don't really have it, because everything's led me to now. Like, there's been so many things, I think, like your classic saying, Tom, the worst things come with.
Some of the best gifts in life come badly wrapped.
Yeah, I've had many of those.
So Matty, when something shit does go down, right? And let's assume that it means that there is no peace of mind at that time, right? When things go bad, and the truth is that whilst we can sit here and think to ourselves, we're going to have a smooth run through life, mathematics suggests that there will be things that will be out of your control that will happen. It could be a plane crash. It could be you're on the wrong spot at the wrong time. Sometimes it's self-inflicted, right? But, at the end of the day, shit will happen. What are some of the learnings when you've had shit that's happened on how to respond?
Yeah, you just probably, if you asked me that question 10 years ago, I would have a very different answer. 5 years ago, a different answer. Today, I just refuse to carry the energy forward.
Right.
So I don't know, many people might not know this, but I'm just going through my second divorce now.
Right.
But I've still been performing at my highest levels at work. I achieved the #1 in McGrath again this year. It's right in the middle of the whole stuff. And it's like, I don't carry it forward. Like I can't, you can't, because if you focus on it and you talk about it and it's all happening, you're just bringing it to tomorrow and the next day. It doesn't mean I have no feelings, but I manage it because it's all an energy thing. The steadier you feel, the better you'll perform, the better the day will go, the better you'll interact with people. And you know yourself, if you've got a hangover, you go and try and do a listing presentation, you're everywhere. If you had an argument with someone and then go and try and do a meeting, you just can't, it just doesn't go good. I've really learned the art. I've spent 20 years understanding the art of energy management. And it is literally the key to creating a successful life.
Well, Matt, I've got to say to you, it reminds me very much about some advice I heard from Dr. Wayne Dyer. He's passed away maybe 15 years ago, and I do my best to live it. And it actually is what you've just said, and that is, don't participate in the problem, participate in the solution. So it and for me with health, it's been don't participate in the diagnosis, participate in the solution. It's not saying the shit didn't happen. Like, you've accepted it's happened, but your energy and your focus is actually not going to be put on going over and over a problem. It's going to be going over and over a solution to be moving forward.
100%. For instance, when you're in an argument, yeah, that's right. If you're in a really like yucky situation in life, you just don't engage in it as much as you can. Sure, you have to a little bit, but you don't try and win. You don't try and be I'm going to wreck your life because you're trying, all that sort of stuff. I just don't go there. And I focus on what do I actually want. A vision's very important, like the vision that you have. I've got a 1.5-page vision that I have. It's how I want my life to be. And you will not get that vision unless you first become that person. So like, I just always think to myself, you look at all people who are really successful, most of them, they just have a confidence about themselves. They have a certainty. They have a way that they live life. And I watch people so carefully, and that's what I want to become. I want to become a person that is like, I'm creating my life each day, but I can see it. I'm creating it inside, and then outside sort of almost attracts it, or doesn't.
Now, Matty, this is my final question to you. If we were sitting together in 2022 and Mat Steinwede's life looked amazing, even if we just focus on an area, let's call it your business life or your commercial life, and not worry about your personal life, because who knows? Maybe you want to get married again. Maybe you don't want to get married again. I don't know. You probably don't even know the answer to that question, right? But I want to ask you, from a commercial perspective, in 2022, if your life looked fantastic, what would you be doing?
Double my company.
Yeah.
So we want to go from, I think we've got 7 offices now. I want to go to about 20. That's what I'd like to do. I want a business that's turning over 100 mil. I want really happy culture. We have a good culture at McGrath. Like, we just have an amazing culture. I want more people, but the culture want to be great. I'm happy doing what I'm doing, and I just want a house overlooking my favorite surf spot. That's it. I don't need it.
Matty Steinwede. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the link in the comments for the book. Also, it's on Instagram. It's man, I've got to tell you, Matt, I can tell you right now, my fitness level, I could, this thing here, the 5-minute walk, incline 3, speed 6.5, we'll do that. 10-minute run at 13.5. I mean, your legs must be going at 30 because you got long legs, Matt. Matt, wouldn't it be like this? Wouldn't it? Like,
I skip. No.
Fucking. Anyway, do you feel at the end of that workout, are you pretty fucked?
Yeah, for sure. Then I might do one muscle group after that. But Tommy, I'm not joking. I'm getting fitter. I'm fitter and better than ever in life, ever.
Matty Steinwede, it is good to have you here. I've got to tell you, it's had massive engagement tonight, and why wouldn't it? Like, I reckon half the audience is agents, the other half is mixed people. I want to thank you so much. And and there's one thing I noticed about you. He's the anti-promoter. He hasn't even got his face once on the book, not even in one single spot. Right. All righty. Thank you, Matty.
Love your work, Tommy.
Guys and girls, press the share button. Let people find out about this guy. Thank you so much. Signing off. Thank you, Susan.